Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another video? The other paid request this time for Gia. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, I will try to get to them as soon as I can. And thank you all who have done that. I appreciate it. Now, those links, PayPal, Pedro Bill, pretty much down below each video I make in the info box right under the video. This is for an episode of Batman Beyond. I believe it's season 2, and it's called Splicers. And I believe I have seen this episode before. I always thought this was an interesting episode because I like the idea behind it. I like some of the voice casts. You even have Ice-T in the episode voicing one of the villain characters. And Batman Beyond as a whole, I do remember enjoying the style, as in the taking place in the future and the aesthetics of it all. Some of the different types of villains. Terry became a character of his own. This is pretty big shoes to fill, pretty big shadow to overcome, which is Batman. But I thought the character of Terry, I like the voice actor who plays him. Batman Beyond just seems like a movie that would have been made, could have been made, and I think should have been made instead of Batgirl. Then it got canceled, and then the stupid Flash movie, and Ezra Miller, the Freakazoid. But like, you'd have Michael Keaton in that, and get a good actor to play. I don't know who would play, but get a good actor to play the younger. Whatever, it is what it is. I think each time I talk about Batman Beyond, I always bring that up. But this one, I like the idea. Of course, it's in the future, like I said, and in this episode, splicing of DNA is the big part of the plot, where I could see this happening in the future. I really can, because you're seeing it in a way now, not really with animals, but with other types of DNA being spliced, or if not spliced, then being affected. People who want DNA with animals, so like this lady comes in, but she's got cat eyes. This person comes in, but they get some DNA splicing, they look more like a snake, or they look more like this other animal. And there are people going, what the hell, this is fucked up, what's going on here? And there's other people that uses words like, it's a matter of choice, establishing my individual, my identity. We're hearing that stuff now. With nothing. Hey, you want to be a woman, but you're a man. You're a man. You want to be a woman, so you affect it, even though it's part of your DNA. But then you're affecting it. Kids getting these hormone blockers. I mean, that's a whole ball of wax. Talked a little bit when I reviewed that documentary, What is a Woman? Even in that documentary, there's a person that identified themselves as wolf. I mean, if you have people identify themselves as wolf, or whatever the hell it was, if they howl, if this was a possibility, people would do it. I 100% concur on that idea. Thanks, brain. Yeah, I know I concur on the idea because I just said it. It would absolutely happen today. And then if people complain, it's my identity, it's a matter of choice, I'm establishing my own self. I identify as She-Wolf of London. I identify as... I don't know. I identify as Heathcliff, the cat. Now, there are people, it's okay if it's not hurting anybody, and if it's not hurting yourself. Even like Terry's girlfriend's a bit tears about other people, like, oh, I don't know if that's really safe or not. By the way, Terry's younger brother is a shithead. He scares the guy with this stupid werewolf mask, and he's an annoying little twerp that you want to kick through a field goal while it's on fire. This is annoying little shit. Come on, Mom, why do they need this? Terry's already a donkey. Yeah, and you're a dick. The other D. One thing leads to another, and you have these bad guys who have their DNA spliced with animals, including this like bull, this ram bull type of thing. I forget exactly what it was. It was Ice-T voicing it, along with other villainous characters. And they worked with bad guys, and the splice of DNA, there's a bit more to it than what's going on. It's not 100% safe, and there's other stuff, other attributes. Terry fights some of them in a subway, and he's like, you Pettigrew rejects need a doctor, or do you need a vet? And there's a bit of a fight in a subway, and the fight scenes are fun, the pacing is quick. I like the bit in the episode where he gets injected and he's looking more like a bat, so you have a little bit of a reminder of Man-Bat, which Mark Senior from Beastmaster and Watchers 2, he voiced it, which was actually one of my favorite episodes of Batman the Animated Series. I like the design of Terry and the way he looks, and Bruce is able to handle his own a bit in order to give him the antidote. I like the dog Max. Ace. Max. I'm thinking of the dog and man's best friend in that movie. I don't know why I kept thinking of that. But the dog's name's Ace. In Max. Think of a different movie. Man's Best Friend. That's a 90s movie for those who don't know. And I like, Terry just to show he's being a bit of a badass. When he gets Terry, he's fighting the villains, he's punching them, he's throwing them, he's stopping their shit. Even pulls Ice-T's nose ring off. Not with blood or anything, but pulls it off. You can tell, and able to cheer them. Have a big old battle with the villain. It becomes this big. It's not a snake, but he called it was a chimera. I forget exactly what he called himself. Like different animal pieces put together. I even like the little bit where the dog doesn't trust Terry, and then when Terry's a creature, he threw the dog, and the dog doesn't trust him, but then the dog actually does save him, and then he saves the dog, and now the dog is very friendly with him. It's sad that a cartoon had a character development on a fucking dog, and I've seen less shit in some of these live-action movies with major characters, but I saw a little bit of development with a fucking dog in this episode. Which is pretty damn sad. So yeah, I like the idea of the animal DNA splicing. I could see that if that ever became a reality, there would be people that would do it 110%. I think a lot of those folks, the furries would do it. Maybe even non-furries. There'd be a lot of people that would do it. I guarantee it. And to take a little bit of look into that. Again, I like that Bruce Wayne is not shown as being, useless. They've done that throughout this series. He's still capable of holding his own, but he does show his age. Thus why Terry is very needed in this world of that this show takes place in. As it being in the future, you could play around with the aesthetics, the backgrounds, you could do these sci-fi ideas, but in the science fiction ideas. I mean, one of the things I liked about Batman, the animated series, was the bits with the computer, MODOK. I always forget the name of the computer. The computer that had an artificial intelligence and was making robot versions of themselves. I think I remember at one time thinking, I don't know, I mean, it's a bit too sci-fi, but at the same time, it's Batman. I mean, this is, the more I think about it, the more I thought, I'm like, this is a world where you have a Man-Bat. This is a world where Superman is a thing. I mean, yeah, sci-fi is going to be a part of it. And then the more I thought about it, and the more I liked that idea. So I did grow to like those episodes on Batman the Animated Series. And because of this sci-fi world, we were able to implement that more. I mean, like I said, the little brother is a shithead. He's kind of in there just to be a little asshole, and then bring up, mainly be in the conversation where the mom had gotten a tattoo, and the mom's like, well, that's different. That's not the same thing. Which is true. It's not the same thing. If you get a little tattoo on your skin, It's different from changing your whole DNA. The girlfriend, I mean, the girlfriend's kind of just there. I mean, this is pretty much her showcase a little bit of interest of maybe doing this, maybe not doing this. But there's not a whole lot else being done with the girlfriend character, at least at this point of the show. Which is fine, because it's not about her, it's about Batman. You know, you see Batman Beyond, you want to see Batman. And yeah, I always liked the suit. Always thought it was a cool looking suit that Terry wears as Batman. Yeah, I like that he's able to punch. People, what are you talking about? I mean, for those who don't know, there's a lot of 90s cartoons, they would not allow that. Spider-Man the Animated Series being an example. I like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon quite a bit. If you watch that again, you know Spider-Man doesn't connect and punch people because he wasn't allowed because of the ratings board. Just something about how this is more unrealistic, so it's fine to punch people, but Spider-Man's more realistic. Just because it's New York, I don't know. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying that's part of the reason why you don't see Spider-Man punch. That's why in that cartoon it was mainly web. Because that was all he was allowed to do. I'm trying to remember, maybe once in a while he got lucky and did it, but if so, it might have been luck, or maybe they won't notice, but he didn't get to do a lot. Here, it's just satisfying just to have that simple bit of business. Ice-T, cool to have him voice a character, a villain. I think he works well. I think he's actually one of the better rappers that became actors. Like Tupac, sadly, that was short-lived. DMX worked for what he needed to be in films like Never Die Alone. He wasn't bad in. I actually liked him in Edgy Wounds. I didn't mind him in Cradle to the Grave for what he had to do. Ice Cube, I liked Friday. I liked even Anaconda. Like I said, it depends what you put him in. He was good in Boys in the Hood. And Ice-T, I mean, yeah, Surviving the Game. I did like that film with Gary Busey and Rutger Hauer as the villain. That's pretty much Ice-T being hunted through the wilderness by these crazed hunters that want to get their tofu. Well, nowadays, there probably would be like a shitty one where we need to get some tofu. We don't have any more tofu. Let's go hunt some people. I don't know, probably some fucking idiots of today. Psychos. A lot of weird psychos. I mean, there's psychos, but that was even weirder psychos nowadays. Like, not only have we got more psychos, we got more weirder psychos. But anyway, trophy is what I meant to say. But yeah, overall, this was a fun episode. This was a fun sci-fi mattered episode with, like I said, nice, decent fight scenes. I like the idea of the story. And yeah, even a doll like Ace was able to shine. It's a pretty decent amount to do in 20 minutes. So, fun episode. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.